Hi there, Mythfits. I am so excited today to talk to you all about my Darkly Fae series. So, if you don't know, the Darkly Fae series is about a magical realm beyond the edge of human sight that is protected by dark forces that drive away the uninvited, namely us humans, where the clans of the unseelie Fae are on the brink of war. Um, I have had so much fun creating this series, and I'm so excited to talk to you more about it. The inspiration for this series is kind of convoluted. Um, Several years ago, probably in like 2010 or 11, I was invited to participate in an anthology that was supposed to be about dark fae and the humans who love them. And I was kind of like, I don't write about fae, I write about mythology and mermaids. Uh, how am I going to write this story? So I started doing research into fairy tales and fairies, and I stumbled across Andrew Lang's fairy books, which are so fun. And in particular, I found this one story that starts out talking about how the fairies have to spend one day every month, or every week, I don't remember, every one day every so often in animal form, in order to preserve their magic. But on that day, they are vulnerable. Like they are not as immortal or as protected by magic as they are on the rest of the days. And I thought that was a super cool idea. So I turned that into this short story for the anthology, and then the anthology fell apart. And I was left with this story that I really had enjoyed writing in this new world that I was creating. And I thought, I bet I can turn it into a longer story. And ultimately, I turned that into a novella and then an entire series. Um, the other part of the inspiration came from my critique partner, Shayna Galen, who read the story. And I'm like, ooh, this story is about dark fae. And she's like, okay, he's a fae, but what makes him really dark? He seems like a pretty decent guy. And so that really made me think, like, okay, why are the dark fae called the dark fae? And so I came up with this idea that they're dark because they feed their magic um, by consuming like negative human emotions like pain and grief and anger, as opposed to light fae who would feed their magic from happy, positive human emotions like happiness and joy and thrill. So that's really the inspiration of the story is Andrew Lang's story about the Fae who spend one day a month in animal form, and my friend Shayna Galen prompting me to figure out why my Fae are dark. Um, so that's where the stories were born. So I want to tell you about the books that are in the series so far. How I'm organizing this series is in story cycles that are organized around the individual Fae clans. So the Fae in my realms, like they live in different clans, like different groups, kind of like countries or kingdoms, but they're called clans. And so the first series is all about the Fae of the clan Moraine. And the first one is called When Magic Sleeps, which this is the one that started off as that anthology story. And it is about Winnie Price, who is a human girl who is also a writer and for years and years has been dreaming these stories about like a magical fae realm and then writing them down as her own stories. And one night, an eagle owl who always visits her bedroom window, it comes and sits on her windowsill, and she's giving him the bird seed that she got for him. And it happens to be Midsummer's Night, which is when the magic sleeps. And so, as she is about to feed this eagle owl, the magic of his transformation falls away and he turns into a dark fae prince of the clan Moraine. And all of a sudden, Winnie realizes that this fae realm that she has been dreaming of and writing about is actually real. So that's the story that kicks off the whole series, Winnie and Cather. The next book in the series is called When Magic Dares, and it involves Princess Ariane, who is from another clan, the Daakir clan, which will come into play later. I'll explain about that. And based on things that happened in the first book, which I can't tell you because it will spoil it. She and one of the guards, the royal guards from the Marine clan, have to go on an adventure. It turned out being kind of a lot like Frozen. So if you like Frozen, you will definitely love When Magic Dares with Ariane and Tierlock. The third book in the series is called When Magic Burns. Again, it builds off of the previous one. There's a really big overarching story with like a big evil bad guy, kind of like the Harry Potter series. Like my Voldemort is Ultan, and so there's a through line that I can't explain or I will spoil the earlier books. But so the third book is called When Magic Burns, which is about Peter, who is a human seer guard. So, like I said, the Fae are vulnerable that one day of the month when they are in animal form. And so they go as animals to this valley sanctuary where, they can be free to run around as these, like, birds or creatures that they have transformed into, but they're also vulnerable. So they have this kind of group of humans who are seers, which means they can see the Fae, and who have vowed to protect the Fae while they are in their animal form. So Peter from When Magic Burns is a seer guard, and he kind of has a crush on. He kind of ends up having a crush on this Fae guard, Regan, who is a totally kick butt chick who, like, doesn't take any crap from anyone. So she is a good match for Peter, who doesn't really take anything seriously. So that's When Magic Burns. The fourth story, continuing on this, the Moraine cycle about the Fae of the clan Moraine and Ultan, the bad guy. This one is about Mel Ackerman, who is actually Winnie's best friend. She's human, but like things kind of begin to involve her at the very end of When Magic Burns, and so in When Magic Falls, she is kind of thrust into this Fae realm, and she ends up spending a lot of time with the captain of the Palace Watch, Liam, who's one of Cather's best friends, and kind of learning some interesting things about herself, which I can't say at all or it will spoil it. And then the fifth and final book in the Moraine cycle is called When Magic Wakes, and it is about Bree Duncan, who is Peter's sister. So she is also a human seer guard. And then Prince Aidan, who is Cather's younger brother, and dealing with the aftermath of something that happened to him in the last books. So like that's the complete Moraine cycle. It's those 5 stories, and they're all collected in this beautiful, isn't that just the prettiest? I want to go live in that castle. Anyway, the Darkly Fae, the Moraine cycle, which has all 5 of those novellas from the Moraine clan. I have this in hardcover, which is so pretty, and is also available in paperback. But this is the whole collection of the Moraine. So those are the books that are in the series as it stands right now. And like all of my series, I also have some bonus stories and extras on my website. There are 2 short stories. One is called The Trial, which is about an event that takes place before the series begins. And then one is a scene from When Magic Sleeps that is actually written from Mel's point of view, from Winnie's best friend's point of view. So you can get both of those on my website. And I've got some extras too, like a Fae glossary. My Fae are kind of a mix of Gaelic and Celtic and Irish history, so they use some Gaelic words. So I have a glossary to explain what those mean. Also, I've created a document called the Trocaire, which is a document that some Fae clans have signed to vow that they will not kill or harm a human for magical gain. Because if you remember, the dark Fae clans, the unseelie Fae, they feed their magic through dark human emotions, through negative human emotions, and so some like evil ones or unscrupulous ones who don't think humans are very valuable will actually kill them or torture them or harm them in order to feed their magic. But clans that have signed the Trocaire have vowed not to do that, which the Moraine is one of those clans. So you can see a copy of the Trocaire on my website. And also, I have a kind of an infographic poster showing the symbols of the different unseelie clans. So each clan has a symbol animal, like the Moraine, their symbol is a fox. And you can see the poster that shows the symbolic animals of all of the Darkly Fae clans in that document. And finally, I want to tell you about my future plans for this series, which I am so excited about. So I'm going to continue writing more of these cycles by clan. Overall, in the entire series, in the Fae realm, there are more than 20 clans. There are like around a dozen each of the unseelie and the seelie, so the dark and the light Fae. So I have like a whole world of Fae clans to draw from. The very next cycle that I'm working on, that I'm planning to release next year, is about the Diakir, which in the second book, When Magic Dares, Princess Ariane is of the Diakir, so it's her clan and stories that are happening in her world based on or as a consequence of what happened in When Magic Dares. So you've met some of those characters already if you've read the Moraine cycle. But then like it will go even more and more deeply into their clan. And then after the Diakir, more clans. I have so many to choose from. And I just realized that when I write a Seelie Fae clan, which is the light clan, I'm going to have to change the name of the series, or it'll have to be a separate series because they can't be darkly because they're not dark. So anyway, at some point I will do the Seelie clans too. I'm also thinking about doing a like a collection of stories that are Winnie's stories that she's been writing over the years. Like I said, Winnie is a writer. The trial short story that's on my website, Winnie actually wrote with my help. But I thought like it could be fun to do a whole collection, like a book of collected stories that Winnie wrote. And also, I might do a collection of other tales from the Fae realm, kind of like their fairy tales, like the fairy tales of the Darkly Fae or something like that. So some fun like extra things that relate to like the Fae realm. So those are my plans. Like that's the series where it stands now, and I have a lot more clan playgrounds to jump around in. So you can look forward to that. So that's everything I know about the Darkly Fae series. And until next time, stay magical.